So since I kind of got my my microphone gadget working, I had a lot of problems with the sound. We'll quickly like flash type all these cast people on this Big Brother 6 Canada. So if you just look at his face, that's Will. That's already a ESFJ. And the usual story, like you can see what I'm doing. I guess with the intuition, and then I check with the more rational functions, like does everything is everything consistent with him being an ESFJ? And
please cast your vote.
The answer is it is. Like everything he says, everything he looks, all his intertype relationships, and then it's kind of a bit of you have to do your legwork in order to check everything. But you can see how I'm operating. I just kind of guess with the intuition, then you check. That's the that's both the INFJ but also the INTJ method, and it's weirdly effective.
I vote to evict Rosie.
Rosina.
Her, if you just look at her face, I see how flat her voice is, and that tone in her voice, that's TE. I say ESTJ, so it's Erica.
Rosina.
And, sorry, oh my god.
Please cast your vote.
Rosie.
I vote to evict.
I get messed up with these controls, because there's something about if you hit period or something, it goes forward by a few seconds. And we want to go past Erica. Oh no. I'm getting messed up with my controls. So there's Erica. And we want to find Ryan, I think. The guy with the beard. Come on. Hurry. There he is. That's Ryan. If you just look at his face, it's already ISTJ. So, I don't like his voice. I think he has a really nasty voice. I would be afraid of him.
Rosina.
I would run away. He is extremely strange, and I'm not saying that you could figure out just from the way he looks, but his voice is a TE voice, and then you have to kind of, like, it's a shock to find an ENTJ, but I think that's an ENTJ. Extremely rare type, and some of them are brilliant. They're at university with you, but they're not in your high school because they're that rare. So,
Mama Rose.
And we have to go back. Hamza, you can't tell exactly from his face, but that's an ESFP. Yeah, they're really nice. I like ESFPs.
Rosie.
And the more or less the reason why I'm thrilled about this whole season is her Paris. That's an INFJ, and you can't tell just by looking at her. You have to kind of see the way she acts and so on, but that's INFJ. And the nice thing about the Vedic corner is we can recognize each other on sight, so at a distance you can tell who's who. So,
Rosie.
we're supposed to go back one to Maddie, but Derek freaks me out. I have no idea what his type is, and I really want to know. I just think that everything he says and does is like some kind of lie. I don't understand him at all, and I don't see how he can act the way he does. Like, what is he? And I'm curious. And then that's Maddie. Again, you can't tell from how she looks, but that's ISTJ. So, and then if you're me, or if you're Paris, INFJ, usually your mom is SIDOM. So my mom's ISTJ. So you kind of catch on, like, Paris is really good with the ISTJs, and you just have to roll your eyes because, like, you feel weird as an INFJ because the way your mind works is so far away from the ISTJs. But first of all, you're strangely good with them, and second, the good part is since you're so far away from them, they don't see you as they're not envious of you. They're not a rival of you. So strangely enough, they're very friendly towards you. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it's true.
Rosina.
Rosina.
And then this is the other sparkly one. That's Kayla. That's a ENFJ. You can tell that she's a FE Dom just by her face and so on, but you can't really tell that she's ENFJ until, I don't know, you have to like see her behave on the show or something. but she's very aggressive. In order to get on the show, apparently she had to act like a character or something like that. But just think to yourself, like, it's everyone's favorite grade school teacher. Like mine was a third grade teacher. Like, and my best friend was also at ENFJ when I was in grade school. So we were both in third grade together with our ENFJ teacher, and like, oh my God, I just adored that teacher. And I remember thinking, like, how is it that I like this person so much? And I would just throw up my hands. I don't know. I'm very fond of ENFJs. And INFJs too, but ENFJs.
Rosina.
Rose.
And we had to give it to Olivia. So again, you can't tell exactly, but that's ISTJ. So she's very comfy in the house, and she kind of flips into the SI. The SI is like, you can see it as like a comfy state, and then everyone can read SI, like how comfortable is someone, like how their internal state. And then the annoying situation if you're INFJ or ENFJ is we have no access to our own internal state, so we don't know how comfy we are, but we can see how comfy you are, so the outside person. And then the surprising thing is, since our moms are ISTJs, we're really comfy around them, and then they see it. Like, so for instance, as an INFJ, I know it's a weird thing to say, but an INFJ on the street, just in public in New England, these guys, ISTJs, they'll be so freaking nice to you. It's just ridiculous. So, and then there's some weird, awkward things too, because if you drink coffee, we are not aware of it, but your SI state is not as calm, and then they will be affected by it. They will not see you as friendly as you normally are. But if you don't drink coffee, they see you as very friendly. And then if you do some exercise, like say you go swimming or something, pay attention, because you'll notice that they will be even friendlier, which is, most people would be like, ISTJs are not friendly at all. But it turns out if you're an INFJ and your mom is an ISTJ, oh my God, are they friendly towards you? It's like, it's freaky. And then the thing is I would ask you, if you're an INFJ, to really pay attention, because they're really nice to us. So.
Rosie.
Rosina.
And Allie, that's the ENFP, and then you cannot tell. Rosina, I could never figure it out because she's not on the show long enough. And then Andrew, which we kind of fast forwarded just fast. I'm not going to go back. Andrew, I think, is a ESFP.
You have been evicted from the Big Brother Canada house. Please get your things and say your goodbyes. Only one man. Ladies first.
I love her voice. That's ISFP. She's a great voice. And then the situation back. I feel kind of weird about this because I tried earlier and my sound didn't work. So I was trying to talk out like the INTJs, and the INTJs have this very cynical point of view, like, oh my God, the world is like uninhabited, because the NI is really lonely, because there's not a lot of NIs around, especially when you're young. But when you're in high school, these guys appear. so first of all, like, ISFPs, you're friends with them forever, and it hurts because when you're in second grade and you start talking, you realize that the way you talk with the TI, it doesn't connect to them, so they don't really understand you very well. So if you're a TI person, not just INFJ, but all of us, you don't feel well understood by the ISFPs. It hurts a lot because I like them enormously. But then what happens is, in high school, their NI turns on, and then now back to this INTJ, like, the world is uninhabited. Not when these guys arrive. So they're NIs, and then it turns out, especially at night, their NI's on, and they're freaking nice to you. If you're an NI, their NI will hunch them to, come and say hi to you or something. So they're sweethearts. I like them a lot. And then the back to that INTJ point, uninhabited world. Well, it's not true, because when they arrive, but then the situation is the ESFPs and the ESTPs. And then the reason we're trying to get at to this girl on the right, you can't really see her very well. That's Veronica. That's a ESTP. There she is. You can, maybe it's not a good photo or whatever, but usually just from their face alone, you can just see that they're ESTP. And then the way they talk, that's ESTP. So, and then what I'm trying to get at talking about this NI stuff is like the ESTPs and the ESFPs, their NI turns on when they're 20, but it's upsetting because it's after high school. And then they can be really nice to you if you are an NI. They're so nice to me. So
Voted, and I have Andrew.
I don't know if I said Hamza. That's ESFP. Yeah.
And guys, cast your vote.
I don't know what
Jesse.
I don't know what Marin's type, but Kayla again. And then you can kind of wind out and like talk about the sorry about that. The Kayla situation. The ENFJ situation, because I feel I know them well because of my best friend, my ENFJ friend. And then come on. I still find him totally freaky. Like, how can you act that way? Like, what is he? What? That's Alejandro. That's an ENFP. So.
Jesse, Olivia.
Yeah. The situation is for Kayla is really unfair in this house because your conflict type. So here I'm talking about how Paris INFJ is so good with ICJs because we really are, but Kayla ENFJ, they're not good. That's a conflict type to the ICJs, and it kind of has a terrible feeling because Kayla would usually win the show, but this particular cast has so many ICJs. Like Ryan promises to poison the jury against Kayla because he really doesn't get along with her, and he does. He absolutely poisons the jury against her, and there's a weird feeling of like, how the hell are you going to win the game if everyone is against you? And it's not fair. And then I just to wind out, like, what would happen is with my best friend, just to, I don't know, I know it's just a cutscene, but I would be over at my ICJ's friend's house, and since it's close to my friend, James's house, I would call him on their phone, like, come on over, and he would not come over because it's odd, but ENFJs don't get along that well with ICJs. They really don't. So it's kind of a bit painful. So
Jesse.
Jesse.
that's Ryan, ICJ. Him and Kayla just hate each other.
Jesse.
And then back to the...
Jesse.
Oh, God. I really wanted to get to
Say your
Erica.
goodbyes.
Back to, this conflict type. It's very difficult to get along with your conflict type, but Paris, INFJ, and also me as well. Our conflict type is ESTJ, and Erica, and we can actually have we have a lot of problems with them. So
Or not.
yeah, Paris is fine with Ryan, and we generally are not. I don't think Ryan is very nice, but INFJs are usually fine with ISTJs, but we're usually not fine. If Kayla's not fine with Ryan, ISTJ, well, Paris and I as well, we are not fine with ESTJs. We have a lot of problems with them. So okay, you get the idea. Like, I don't know. At least I try to get across something. Bye.